Welcome back to my channel, guys. Thank you for those who are returning. For those who are new, my name is Romario and this is Build with Romario, where we bring positive energy and extra love to all projects. This video is going to be part 1 of 3 videos of building a resin and epoxy river table. The first video, which is this one, will consist of me showing you how to build out the mold or the form for the river tabletop. The second video, I will show you how to prep the lumber and calculate and pour the epoxy resin. The third video, I will show you how to finish the tabletop, remove it from the mold, finish the tabletop, add some legs just for fun design. Okay, so if you find any value in that, I hope you guys could leave a thumbs up in this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell so you can see the next videos when I do upload them, which will be soon. So let's get right into this portion. Okay, and for those who are beginners, if you're looking for a tool list, I have a free downloadable tool guide in the description below. Feel free to guide it, feel free to download it, it's free. Okay, so I'll be taking you all to Lowe's where we'll be getting the material. I already had this, which is Tabletop tape, which we will be using to seal the sheet of melamine, which we'll be getting. I'll get to that. So we're getting Tabletop tape, 1.25" screws, and excuse me for later on, I'll be using pocket hole screws. It's what I had in the shop at the time, but I would recommend these screws, which is why I'm showing it right here. And we'll be getting 100% silicone to seal the mold, okay, after we put the tape. And lastly, as I mentioned, for the sheet, we will be getting 8-foot by 4-foot sheet of melamine, and we will have someone at Lowe's cut it for us. Okay, so let's head out. So I was gonna mark out all the sections for them to cut, but I just marked out the first cut, which is 30.25 inch, because I'm doing it with pencil, and the thickness of the blade is gonna kind of mess up what I do. So I'll have them continue to cut accordingly, according to my measurements, and I'll just monitor it so everything goes well. I already went ahead and put the board up for them, so I'm just waiting for someone to come and help me. Well, not help me, but to get it cut. All done. Now to pay for the rest and head out of here. Okay, so we're back from the store. We got everything we need from Lowe's. Now is to get this prepared to have it assembled. So this is the foam that's gonna hold the tabletop, well, at least to hold the resin when I pour it to mesh with the slabs that was bought as well. Okay, so let's go with dimensions. The tabletop is gonna end up being 30 inches by 48 inches. Okay, so right now I made them cut, at least I accounted for 3/4 inch on each side on the length and the width, so I can cut off some extra material in case there's any blemishes on when I do remove it from the mold. Okay, so that just gives us some tolerance. All right, so the sides, I didn't have them cut the sides to size because in the shop with my miter saw wasn't going to be a big deal. It's just the big cuts I needed to get done in the store. So this length right now is 49 inches. I'm going to cut 3/4 inch of these two boards so I can have it lined up with the length of the slab itself at 48.25. Okay, once that's cut, I'm going to keep these two at 32 inches. Why? Because I'm gonna have it sit like so to meet the thickness, which is 3/4 inch of this one and this one as well. Okay, so 3/4, that's 1.5 inches. So I have that accounted for, so it sits perfectly right here. Okay, so I'm gonna take these to the miter saw, get 3/4 inch cut off, then come back and go with the Tabletop tape around the entire surface of the sides and the base, because resin does not necessarily stick to the melamine, but if you put the Tabletop tape, it's gonna be easier to take off. And some people don't use the Tabletop tape, they just put the mold release. Either one works, but I'm gonna go with the Tabletop tape on this one. Okay, so let's head over and get this cut off. Okay, so this is it put together. Now that we know that it works, prep for the Tabletop tape rather, because now we gotta go around the surface, wipe it off with a microfiber cloth, because it's gonna definitely have some dust on there and you want to get rid of it before you move on to the next step on laying the Tabletop tape. You can see dust on it right here. And also, just to show you my imperfections, I definitely did cut this a smidget more than necessary, but it's gonna be okay because I'm gonna seal it with silicone on the inside. But just letting you know, just tolerance when it comes to this. I just have a little gap, but I'm gonna put tape, I'm gonna put silicone, so there's gonna be no leaks. Okay, all right, let me wipe this off and then move on to laying the Tabletop tape. I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so for the Tabletop tape, I'm just gonna layer on top of this. Okay, so I already wiped the surface off. Place it down here. Okay, get it across and then gentle. Okay, good. Cut off and move to the side. It's just 2 pieces this will be needing. Okay, all the way over and slide over. And that's it. And then crease the bottom, crease that in, and this is done. Done deal. Move this to the side and just repeat. Okay, so the same thing is gonna apply for the larger board. You're just gonna continue to layer the tape until you get to the entire surface of the base, okay? So I'll just, of course, just demonstrate. I'm gonna have a little overhang to start off. I'm gonna continue to dust the board off if I see anything here as I go. Make sure that the tape is layered so resin finds any crevice to seep out of. I'm open to any critique. If there's any pros watching this, of course, feel free to leave any feedback, anything I could do better. I welcome constructive criticism. I always strive to be better. Okay guys, the form is almost complete. So the Tabletop tape is laid. What I want to do is cut the sides of the tape if there's too much overhang. So you can sit just 3/4 of the way of the board. I just don't want it to crumple up when I was patting it down. So I just cut off any excess or anything that was giving me trouble. I did it all around the sides. And you could even let it wrap at the back, but that would be just too much tape. But nonetheless, this is how I got mound done. And of course, let's place it back. I'll place the sides back and it looks good. Next is to put in the screws. So you can either use screws. I'm using 2-inch screws. Okay guys, so one thing before I do start pre-drilling my holes, this is completely optional based on your comfort level. So I'm making lines on each one of the sides that's 3/8 of an inch from the bottom. And that's gonna mark my halfway mark of the thickness of the base. So when I go to pre-drill my holes, I know exactly where will be okay for me to put my screws, okay? So I've done this without marking it and I've been good with the exception of 1 or 2 screws being out of place. So I'm just showing this to you to use as a guide. Again, optional. It's not necessary for those who are very comfortable and could control their hand with putting the screws in at the right height. But I'm just showing you in case you would like the extra step on making sure that you don't overshoot and put a hole of the base, which you of course just have to make sure it doesn't leave a bump and make sure to put enough silicone on the inside. Okay, just showing you that, but I'm just gonna continue doing the rest and move on to pre-drilling. Okay guys, now that we have the screws in, we're gonna move on to the silicone, okay? So we're gonna cut the top in a angle. Oh, there's actually measurements here. Interesting. I'm not well versed on it. I just noticed it, so. Just cutting in an angle, and when you do that, it will give it a nice top to paste when you're going along the sides. You'll see when I start doing it. All right, put it in the gun, of course, pop it open. All right, and we're off to the races. Keep some cloth with you. Keep something to clean up. It's gonna get a little bit messy. So I'll keep some towel next to you in case you need it. Let's get to pasting. Not sure if you could see how smooth that is, but I'll show you. I'll give a close-up and show you how it's coming out. Afterwards, I'm gonna pass my finger along the sides just to make sure it's all up in there. Okay, you saw that run. Let's do the side. I'm a lefty, so this one is gonna be a little tricky. Not really. Now, I'm just gonna take my finger and pass it. Honestly, don't think this is necessary since it's thin enough to hold its own. And this is the end result. All right, so all the sides are sealed. At this point, I'm just gonna leave the silicone to dry, and then we'll be back and we will start to cut the live edge. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for your support. I really do hope that you found value in this video, and I hope you stick around for the other 2 videos in this series because we have a whole table to build, okay? So hope you guys have a great one. See you on the next one, and stay positive throughout your builds. See you soon.